When you were growing up, you probably had the idea of being an astronaut or a scientist, but many people often say that they want to be a policeman, but they somehow find a way to talk themselves out of it. Meet Officer Austin Hergott and Jeremy Polacek, who told themselves at a very young age that they were going to be an officer of the law.
I've actually wanted to be a police officer since I was about 5 years old. I've always dealt with police. I've always had a good relationship with the police. So I've always wanted to do it. I've arrested the bad guys, taken them to jail, do all the fun stuff.
Being an officer of the law comes with a lot of highs and a lot of lows. But just like any other job, there is a favorite to that job.
Probably my favorite part about being a police officer is the excitement of the job, because we never know what we're going to do, what we're going to be dealing with day in, day out, hour by hour, minute by minute. One day we can get just a simple, a dog running at large call to we have a shoplifter that's running from us or anything like that. So the variety of the job is quite different.
Helping people, and of course the camaraderie we have between my shift mates and the police department here. We deal with a lot of stressful situations or depressing situations, but we can kind of overcome a lot of that stuff with the friendship that we have here and the good times we have amongst each other.
When you are on the job as a police officer, one thing that many people love to do is pull someone over and keeping the streets safe. But as soon as you get off duty, it can be hard at times to shut off the officer mindset.
It's pretty tough because we come here, we have our mindset of what our job is, what we have to do. So being able to go home and switch that off, it does take some time to get used to it. For the most part, I've been able to adjust back to civilian life, but I do find myself sometimes still with that police officer mindset.
During stressful situations, of course, there has to be a certain disconnect between work and home life. I don't share a whole bunch of the more stressful things with my family. If there's a certain story that they ask about, or if they hear about something in the news, and I can elaborate it on a little bit, but some of the more scary things I of course don't share with my kids or with my wife, because I don't want to concern them.
Not only is switching your mindset difficult, but planning between work and family life is a big consideration officers have to manage every day.
Well, you got to make a priority out of it, and scheduling is a big thing for us in my family. Of course, I like to know weeks in advance when I work or when I train, and then also at least a week or two in advance I know when I'm going to be helping out with the family or when I'm going to be doing family stuff. And if a work opportunity arises, then and it's not something mandatory, you got to be able to say no to it too.
Finally, officers have families just like you and I, so the scariest part of being an officer is actually from the perspective of a loved one. The question that they find themselves asking is, will they come home tonight?
There's always the what if question. What if he doesn't come home tonight because, say, I get killed in a car accident, or there's an officer involved shooting, or anything of that nature. There's always that risk when I got into this job. And before I even got hired onto this job, and honestly, as I was in a relationship and with my family even, they all knew what I wanted to do, and they all know what that risk is.
No doubt is being an officer fun and exciting, but it is a very dangerous job nonetheless. When you are driving in the streets and they pull you over, it's not because they hate you, but it's because they're trying to keep us safe. And just like you and me, they want to see their families at the end of the night.